What's up, guys? Hey, thank you all for tuning into my 33rd episode of Project Renaissance Man. Today's subject is going to be on self-discipline. Um, of course, another thing that is extremely significant, essential actually, to us being able to become better. And so, before I get started, I'm just going to share these 3 books I just picked up from the library. Overload of good work out there. And all this stuff came within, at least 2 of the 3 books came within the past couple weeks. So it's pretty cool how they have these new releases, and their authors, all these authors are some of my favorites. Ben Fountain just released a new book, work of nonfiction this time though. He wrote Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, which from what I've read is pretty amazing. Even his style is really cool. And then M.R. Carey, I'm currently working on his book, The Girl with All the Gifts. This book is incredible. And he just released a new book, and it's down there at the library. I was going to pick it up, but I'm probably carrying about 40-something pounds in my hand right now of books. They're all thick, and I got to get through them. And I want to thoroughly enjoy those things. Yeah, so right now I'm reading The Girl with All the Gifts. I'm hoping to get almost all the way finished with it tonight. And The Boy on the Bridge, I have to get on to that one, which is another book of his. And then after that, he's got this third newest book out. But the other 3 I picked up, Columbine by Dave Cullen. I was watching a Jordan Peterson YouTube video, and he just talked about how this had some of the writing from Eric Harris in it, one of the 2 killers of Columbine, and he said that it's just really terrifying, his writing and what the subject matter of it. But at the same time, it's very interesting. Even these dark things are extremely interesting to observe because there's so much unknown behind them, like what causes a person to behave this way, what sorts of things are missing, what is this person missing, that doesn't allow them to use their power in a positive way, a constructive way, versus a negative, destructive way. So, pick that up. This is the book I've been dying to get my hands on. I wanted to actually buy it, but they had it down there, and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it at a later date. But Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, the Jamaican author I was telling you guys about. I wanted to get onto his book. So this is another reason I got to really get through The Girl with All the Gifts. Although I really want to enjoy the whole experience, I am going to. This is next. And then lastly, Carlos Ruiz Zafón is by far one of my favorite authors. He wrote The Shadow of the Wind, which is an amazing book. You guys got to get out and read that one. But Labyrinth of the Spirits is his latest book, and it just came out, and it just sounds super dope, and I can't wait to get onto this book. So, yeah. Anyways, on to self-discipline. Self-discipline is so important because we need to be able to exercise restraint. And today's vlog is going to be in the format of a rant. It's not going to be your pointers. It's just going to be kind of going over the importance of self-discipline. And more than ever, I talk about this a lot, the self-discipline is not only that much more important because of all the distractions, but it's much harder to cultivate because of the distractions, because we're constantly bombarded with things. Your cell phone alone can just pretty much has its way with us. It will, whenever it demands attention, we usually give it to it, And that could be just a new post on Facebook. It could be a text message. It could be a phone call, anything. There's so many, that device alone has multiple ways to fulfill its agenda. So, what I like to do is I like to turn the phone off from time to time. And then, of course, it'll go straight to voicemail. The only bad thing is we always try to justify this by saying, well, what if there's an emergency? How terrible would we feel knowing we can leave our phone on and be able to answer that emergency immediately? So I get that. So I guess it's a matter of chance. Like, how likely is it that there's going to be an emergency? But that's the problem. We never want to even give it a chance that there could be one. So maybe there's an easier way, a better way to do that. Maybe we could just, I don't know. Maybe we can just limit things. Like, maybe we can cut out Facebook and cut out the things that we know no emergency. No emergency would come by way of these things. So if we cut out Facebook and we cut out Instagram and some of these social media apps, and only have that our phone vibrate, for a phone call or a text message, perhaps that's the way to do it. But nonetheless, I think we need to cut down on that if we are to cultivate this self-discipline. Another thing is, I mentioned, and I know I told you guys I wasn't going to give you any pointers, which I'm really not, but this is helpful. And I've given this one before, maybe in the form of a pointer, but when we commit ourselves to things, it naturally cultivates within us self-discipline, because we are exercising the discipline through making sure we're tending to whatever it is that is that responsibility or that thing that we have a devotion for, such as whether it be church or a chess club that you're showing up for all the time with you're being consistent about, a book club, writing club, some kind of workshop, maybe calligraphy workshop or origami, or maybe a discussion group you're a part of, a bowling league, a gym of some sort, and you're consistent in doing so, you are exercising self-discipline, which is fantastic. But this self-discipline, it's almost virtuous if you think about it. And this is why it's so important, because this thing carries over into bigger areas, even including the area of morality. When we have self-discipline, we naturally exercise restraint. And this ties into what I was discussing last vlog, which had to do with being bolder, emboldening yourself, or making it easier to approach people that you want to approach, that you find attractive. And the reason I say this ties into this is because when I said that I do approach people and I talk to them if they're attractive or whatever, even if I'm at work, I want to make it clear that I'm not, coming off as a dog. I just like to interact, with people that I connect well with. And I like to always practice that and see where it can go and keep the social skills strong. Because we all know that there's a major deficiency in strong social skills among a lot of different societies in this country. And so the way that this ties in, the self-discipline, is that although I do approach these people, I also have restraint. And restraint is so important. This ties into indulgences. If we have strong restraint and we have a lot of self-discipline, we're able to refrain from things that can be harmful to us, and we're able to indulge in things in moderation, which are all extremely important. Think about it. Anything to the extreme usually doesn't provide good results. It usually doesn't have good effects that are beneficial to us. And so that's what really makes this so close to being a trait of virtue, if you think about it. Self-discipline. Because you think of the hookup culture, all right? I'll just throw that out there. This is the example I'll use. The hookup culture, it really cheapens the sexual experience. Not even the sexual experience, but the ability to connect with people. It's a very superficial connection. It's more about feeling good. I think there's something deeper psychologically. Like, we feel so lonely a lot of times that we just want to be body on body, and so we feel that this is a way to not feel so alone. But it really isn't. It's like a drug if you think about it. We are deceived into thinking that it's a cure, or it feels like one. It tricks us long enough to think that, for us to believe that it's healing us. But in reality, what it is doing is it's just taking us away for a short period of time. But we got to reawaken. We got to come off that drug. We got to wake up to the person that we just slept with, and then reality kicks in. Reality doesn't go away just because we tried to delude ourselves for a short period of time. It's only a temporary thing, and usually it sets us back further. It makes us feel bad about ourselves. It makes us feel unfulfilled. It reminds us about how unfulfilled we really are and how much of a gap is inside of us. So, yeah, I guess the whole idea behind this message today on this vlog is just to exercise the self-discipline, and you will feel really great that you did. It's not to say become a monk and deprive yourself of all indulgences. By no means do that, because then, like I said, you're just doing the opposite. You're going to the other extreme, and extremes in general, like I said, are usually not going to affect you in a positive way. So just stay moderate, and the best to you. I think that's what all I have for you guys today for this vlog. Thank you all for tuning into my 33rd episode of Project Renaissance Man. If you guys feel you have benefited from this video and you have enjoyed watching it, please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give me a like. And I will see you all on, what day is it today? See you all on Saturday. Later.